seeing I'm live. See if anybody pops in. I ain't getting nobody. Did that thing not upload the video? Or what? Nobody's chatting. Oh, there we are. How do I sound, guys? Had to make sure I was live. Didn't see nobody popping up. Usually there's people in here ahead of time, but had me a little worried if my StreamYards was working or something. Made sure my video uploaded to remind everybody. Pretty sure it did because it stopped uploading. So, now who we got in here? Let me get my stuff out of the way. See if I can stroll back up here. Looks like Dave being SF in scale. Crazy Joe 67, how you doing? Martin, Ron Brights, glad to have you in here. Says 6. Who else we got in here? Martin, Crazy, Ron, Dave. Says we got 6 of you. I don't know if I actually mentioned 6. It looks like 4 of you might be in the chat and 2 of you might be laying low watching. So that's fine. We'll wait a couple more minutes and see if we can get any more in here. Usually I get about close to anywhere between 10 and 20 people. So I don't, well, Friday I might get a little more, but because of the being Friday. I had to think what day it was too, because this week has been messed up. I'm not used to my mom being home from work, from being snowed in. So it kind of messes you up when you're. Nothing against my mom though. I love her to death. I wouldn't trade anybody for the world for my mom. So anyway, it looks like we got the same. Now we're saying 7, but it's not. Dave P, welcome. Glad to have you in here. Who else is in here? Make sure I didn't miss anybody. Seven five. Hey, that. Make sure you'll hit that like button, guys. I can never understand why you have a live. Somebody has a live stream and you got less thumbs up than you do people watching. So we'll give it a couple more minutes. Excuse me, guys. I got a text message. I got to answer real quick. Who else we have in here? Digger Evans, welcome. Dave, I said hi. The other Dave, I said hi. Peter, welcome. I'm not even gonna try your last name, Peter. And I'm just now getting the notification that I'm live. That's good to know. I just got the email notification. And that was my daughter's mother, who drives me totally bananas, but that's a different story. That's outside what we're doing for a live stream. And yes, I am divorced a long time ago. So that is the reason I had to answer that text message. So anyway, back over here. Let's see, Ron Bright, Dave P. Nancy, welcome. Glad you can make it in here. Hope everything's good with you. Hope you're getting to work on your layout here and there. I know you have other things going on also, but I'm just glad you're able to do what you can do and have fun. Yeah, Crazy Joe, it's not fun in ways. Trust me. It was a bad marriage, I think, from the beginning, and I made the mistake, and I won't go no further on that part. It just, I don't know. It's in the past, but till Abigail's 18, you know, I get to put up with it. So once she's 18, delete button on the phone, then I won't have to worry about any more contact for it. So Change Trains, welcome. Schuylkill River Valley, John, welcome. Yeah, I know what you're talking about, Digger. Mine was mine I think was beyond that, but we won't go into that. Because I don't want to strike one of my nerves because I can get somewhere where I don't want to be. So, but anyway, we have 11 of you, which is good enough to start this live stream. What we're going to talk about. Everybody else will have to fall in, and as they come in, and so first of all, I'm going to ask everybody. Is anybody interested in having some kind of diorama class or diorama, whatever you want to call it? If so, I can do it on one of my live streams, or we can do it like a Saturday, or well, technically not a Saturday, but hopefully like Train Tunnel Thursday or Fallen Flags Friday. Flags Friday might be better on account of it's going, into the weekend, and I get it'd probably be a little better for a lot of people, because it's going into the weekend and people's off, Saturday and Sunday. Not all people. I'm not saying everybody's that, but if anybody's interested in doing that, let me know in the chat, and I will give you a list of basic materials. It's not going to be a lot of stuff, just a piece of foam or something. This is, I believe, 1 inch thick. Let me check this. It's about three, or yeah, it's around 3/4, 7/8, or something like that. But anyway, something like this will work. It looks like Crazy Joe would like to. So just kind of let me know, and I'll try to get a general idea of how many people, and I will, what I'll have you do is email me your email address. That way I can tell you if I'm on or off for some reason that night, that we do this, because if you noticed last week and last night, I had to cancel because of other things. So I'm not always on. So it's it's not going to be probably a every week thing. I'm hoping it will be. If I do have this will be a good reason for me to be on. But you will have to have, of course, a good camera connection, audio connection, and I can pull you up on some way of pulling you up on live StreamYards. That way we can have the class, and everybody else that isn't in the actual on screen live class, everybody else can follow along, at their own pace and stuff like that. I'm not going to be, aggressive teacher or anything like that. It's going to be something that you're going to be able to do on your own. Take your time. Just follow along. You don't have to make my what I'm putting on mine exactly on yours, because we're not going to have the same basic, trees and bushes or landscape stuff, you might say, scenery and stuff. You're not going to have the same thickness of foam. For an alternative, if you just want to play around and just, build it for fun, if it's not going to mean much, you can do it on a piece of poster board. You just have to watch what glue and stuff you use on either the foam or the poster board. Because if you try to use hot glue on this, more than likely you ain't going to be able to leave it on there very long, because it will eat it. Do not use model glue like testers in the tube that you would use on model airplanes or ships or car models, because it will eat right through this stuff. I found that out one day when I was just playing around with a piece of foam, just wondering, if the glue would work. Well, it ate the foam completely up. So, and that was just a little piece of foam. So that's the reason I only used a little piece, because I kind of figured the acid in the glue was just going to, crumble it up, like if you shot a bumblebee with carburetor cleaner spray or brake cleaner spray. It just grabs them, and it just turns the yellow on them black, and it's just like a bug zapper would do. It just zaps them and, puts them out of their misery, you might say. But anyway, you'll need something like this, and this will actually be good also if you want a background scene for some reason. If you're good at painting trees and, scenery and stuff like that. The only problem with this is if you buy the white, you won't have this protective piece on here. So if you don't want that extra piece, if you thinking is going to probably peel, which sometimes it does, sometimes it don't, you can just, do one of those numbers and fill it off, and you'll have the white poster board. That's basically probably the only difference between the black and the white poster board when you buy it. And you can get it from Dollar General. Now let me think of this. Dollar General or Dollar Tree, one of those, I believe, carry it, plus all your hobby craft stores. Michael's, AC, well, we don't have an AC Moores anymore, but that's out of business. But Michael's, probably Joann Fabrics might even carry it, and places like that. You probably won't find it at Lowe's and places of that nature, because they don't sell yarn and fabric and poster stuff. So, but anyway, a piece of this. This is like, let's see, I got it marked here. This is like 9 3/4. I believe this way from the bad cut to the factory cut, and then from the factory cut over to this is like 10 inches. So basic tools for this that you would probably need. First of all, of course, your piece of foam. Extra X-Acto knife blades. If you don't have a new one already in there, I would suggest it. If you would cut the foam out for water, or like your creek beds or creek, whichever you want to call it. But I would suggest putting a new blade into your X-Acto knife. To cut your foam, you may even want to have a utility knife. This is a fold-up pocket deal here. It has a clip on it. I don't know if you can see it right there. Pocket clip. Also, I use that basically for the foam, or some kind of other utility knife. Or if I need something big cut, I will also use. I've been known to use the jigsaw, saber saw, whatever you want to call it. You could probably also, if you have a wood shop, you could probably also use your bandsaw, or I would not recommend using the circular saw or a table saw because of chewing this up a lot, unless you have a real fine tooth blade. So you could probably do it. You could possibly try a compound miter saw, but again, you would need, your fine tooth blade that it would not chew this up. A way to get away from what I did here, because this is just going to be, just going to be for this project, and I'm not doing nothing perfect, because I got a factory edge here and a factory edge here that I can, put it up on a shelf, or try to cut it into my layout somewhere. If you're going to put it into your layout, make sure you have a spot to set it. Make it. I think this one back here that I made, where is it? The one that everybody likes so much. This is like I'm going to say a foot by a foot, or 12 inches by 12 inches, whichever you want to say that as. Actually, I'm probably wrong on the one part. It's actually 10. It's actually 10 wide this way and 14 the other way. So a 10 by 14 will give you something that looks that big. It's entirely up to you. You can make it a foot by a foot. You can make it 10 by 9. Whatever you want to work with. If you're just starting out and you don't want to, you think you're going to mess it up, or it ain't going to be that great looking. I mean, make it a small one and just work with it, and then you can go, bigger as you go on with practicing. Like I said, this is what I had. It was a overhang of this big piece. For me to do something this big, it would take a lot more camera and stuff like that. So we're not going into that, something that big. But this is like a 10, like I said, a 9 3/4 by 10, and that's what it basically measured out as. And if you're not worried about the cuts, that's up to you. I'm personally not worried about it. So another thing that you will need is and it's up to you, whatever you want to use. Measuring tape or ruler of some type. You can use a scale ruler. Again, I'm not making this to scale. It's just, something I'm doing for fun because I need something to do for my live streams. So another thing that you could probably, if you want to have, to, tape off your areas if you're painting something, tape, get some cheap box tape, or painter's tape is what they actually call it. It could probably be used for boxes, but I wouldn't recommend it. More of a painter tape. Sometimes it ain't even really used or good for that because it'll peel off. But before you can get the paint where you put it. But anyway, some kind of marking, pin, or well, not pin, but marker, whatever you prefer is fine. I'm not hard to get along with. Something like this might even work, a marker pen or a Sharpie, like I showed a second ago. Old piece of track if you want some kind of trackage in your scene. Again, that's your preference, your decision. You don't have to do what I'm doing. You can just do your own project, as we go. If we get enough for a class, I mean, I'll take up to, I think this thing will hold up to 6 people. That would be 5 of you and 1 of me. So I believe that's what Cousin Vinny can have, because this is the free version. Well, actually, he paid for his for a month, so to do his class. So I take that back. But for me, I believe I'm allowed up to 5 visitors. That's including me, which would be the 6th one. So, but anyway, paints and some kind of brushes of your choice. I'm going to probably be using this wider brush to actually paint the foam. That way it moves a little faster. Again, it's not going to be a perfect looking thing. It's just going to be a fun deal. Just to have a little fun on my live streams. To kind of connect with some people on YouTube and StreamYards. And if you want tunnel portals on your in your scene, this is actually my template, because this is like one of my perfect. Well, this is like one of my very first tunnel portals. It's not the most perfect thing in the world, but it works for my layout. I did better ones than this, but this is my first perfect one, and you can see that I actually sanded all this down. But other things, other items, you could use for a tunnel portal if you go that way for your scenery. Just a piece of poster board cut out, and you can do a square or like your square timber portals, or you can round it like that. So, but course, I set a piece of track. Tweezers, if your hands are and fingers are real big. And of course, one of the main things is 100% glue. If you're used to working on foam and think that you want to use your 50/50, that's up to you. I have no problem with that. It's your project, and you're basically just gonna have fun like me. Alcohol, if you do use the water down glue 50/50, of course, some kind of water and some kind of container to wash your brushes. And when we get to that part, paint, and you can use whatever paint you're familiar with and you've used before. If you have a piece of track, of course, that might need cut to length, don't forget these guys to cut it down. And I do believe for in scale, is it vertical or is it horizontal? But anyway, I do know one of them is like this and one of them is from the top. So don't forget those guys. And of course, if you would do any kind of mountain scenery, like pounding your foam up to carve. This is what I do. I poke this down through the pieces when I glue it, and this will hold everything together. Other ways to hold something together, if you have a little less thick foam, T-pins, they'll also be used for if you want to put down your track and stuff like that. So there's Randy, my friend Randy, Ran Wolf. Steve 87 PSAP, welcome. Drake Early, welcome. Who else? Dwayne's Fork and Spoon, welcome. I'm sorry, guys, I haven't been watching the chat. New Ferris Railroad, Dave Piper. We're getting some Daves in here. Dave P, Dave Piper. Dave BNSF in scale. Oh, Art's, yeah, there's PDRR engineer, Art. I believe we got 15 of you. Wow. I've been busy yapping the jaws and not paying attention to the chat, and we got all kinds of people coming in. That's good. So anyway, if you're interested in this, and Randy, I can give you a piece of foam. If you all do come down tomorrow, I can cut you a piece of foam if you want to, and give you extra materials if you want to try to follow along. That's entirely up to you, bud. You can let me know whenever, and I'll hook you up with some stuff, because I know you're not a big model railroader, but you do have a small layout thanks to me and you can follow along if you want. Like I said, it's entirely up to you because I know you ain't always able to get on, but you can do it at your own on your own time also. But anyway, guys, like I said, there's no going to be nothing that you have to copy off of what I'm doing. We're just going to sit here on the screen together and just work and talk and you know do this for an hour or whatever. And if anybody feels that they can make it both nights, I can do this both nights. It don't matter if I'm able to be live. It's just right now with winter and other stuff going on. It's really hard to try to be on all the time and plowing snow, and you get tired of being outside all day looking at it. And so I know that ain't much of an excuse, but that's my story and I'm sticking to it. But anyway, um, trees, you can get cheap trees, Amazon or Hobby Lobby or Walmart or wherever you can find cheap trees and um, the ground cover materials and stuff like that. For my for my ballast, I'm basically going to probably use um, colored sand from the dollar store. Um, for something like this, it's good. You don't waste your main ballast stuff. But then you get like clump foliage and whatever else you want try to use on this project. Um, and then you can also go to, and I'm trying to think of where these came from. I can't remember where, if Dad was still around when we got these, but all they are cut down tree trunks. Um, and they're from Grand Central Gems, and that is Grand Central GEMS. That is the company. Their website looks like grandcentralgems.com. And again, the gems is spelled GEMS. So, and there's like maybe, I'm going to say 10 of them in there, different, couple different sizes. You got one down here that's like a stump. One's like half a tree cut down. So if you wanted to make a forest scene, I mean, it would look better with scenery on there, but just to give you an idea, you could place some, something like that or something and have a forest scene and have your train going through there through cut down trees. I prefer trees that's a full tree, but these was actually bought because they're more of my dad's Lionel scale. And I was going to use them like up on the mountain scene or somewhere around his trains. I can't remember if we bought those back when he was still around or not. I kind of think we did, but that's been so long ago that. But I mean, you could just make it look like somebody came along and chopped the trees down, and then of course you could put whole trees back in the back of it. But I just happen to have them in another project box that I brought in earlier, and they was in there. I didn't really mean to actually bring them in here, but now that they're in here, we could use them. So anyway, that is what I'm talking about tonight. Like I said, I will put my email address in here. So if you're interested, email me please and put in the subject line I guess project Thursday or Friday night probably a Friday night project, since I get more of you or different one of you in here on Fridays. Like I said, if I can't fit all of you in my class, then everybody will just have to follow along. Maybe I'll even have two different projects or something, two different classes. That way I can get a variety of people in one night, and 5 different one of you or something Friday. And basically we could do the same project, only I could probably do 2 different dioramas or ramas, whichever you want to. I guess really it's supposed to be a I don't know. Really, I don't know how you would actually pronounce that, diorama or diorama. So anyway, like I said, you need a piece of foam, paint brushes, something to mark with, Sharpie, marker, pen, utility knife to cut your foam, and your X-Acto knife, and of course make sure you have a new blade in your X-Acto knife, or whatever knife you prefer to use if you would cut your, like a creek bed, or cut something out, the like I did here for the fire pit right there. If I can get it on camera and the light right there, that is nothing but a, let me get something to point with because it's going to be a little easier. Right here, that is nothing but a Mountain Dew cap that I cut a hole. I think I did that with a Forester bit, so it wouldn't make a mess. Don't use a hole saw because it's probably gonna tear it up a little more than a Forester bit would. But you can use this exactly like a drill bit, the Forester bit, and it drills down. And don't drill down whole way, or you'll have a hole. Well, the hole's going to be covered up anyway. Like I thought that this one was covered up, but evidently it's not even in here, so I must not have went that deep. But to keep that from happening, put some tape on your Forester bit. That way you know when to stop. That's a little DIY tip. But anyway, that's all that is a Mountain Dew cap that I put in there for a fire ring. And then I took craft sticks. Actually, it's stir sticks, and cut them up to size and used it as the pile of wood. You can probably use toothpicks and other round sticks, and they do make these in 2 different sizes as far as I know. And the nice thing about these, not only can you use them for trees, but if you take them and bend them very, very gently without hearing any snapping like this. And this is just a tip that I'm throwing out there. You can actually make a tree that's leaning, that's bent. So you can actually make a telephone pole that's leaning over, or a tree trunk. So that's just a little tip. And of course, when you have something like that, I'm everybody knows or should know by now that I'm a person that does not throw anything away. I'm always keeping scraps of something, like that and stuff like this. You can use this for hay fields, or you know, you can put stuff like that and make it look like corn stalks without corn hanging off of them. There's all kinds of ways, all kinds of things that you can use scrap. It just looks like trash to some people, but I mean, if you poke a little hole and put that down in it with a little bit of glue, it'll stay up. I mean, it'll be, floppy, but I mean, it'll look like cornstalk. I mean, not that big, but know what I'm talking about. Um, Depending on how tall you actually want that up there, and you could make it look like wheatgrass or something too. But I'm one of them that don't throw anything away, bottle caps, anything, anything that I can tell myself I might have an idea for that, because prices of stuff's going up, guys. I mean, crash stuff, train stuff, everything. I mean, so you know, sometimes it takes trash to come up with ideas. So anyway, we got about less than a little over 10 minutes left. Then make sure you, directly after this live stream, make sure you go over and hang out with Cousin Vinny at 8 p.m., aka BNSF 6951. And I've been practicing that. Normally I get tongue tied trying to say that fast, but make sure you check out BNSF 6951, our cousin Vinny, for his live stream coming up right after this one on Fridays. This is Fallen Flags Friday. And of course, this is the very first Fallen Flags Friday. I forgot to mention that. And if you want to donate anything, you can also do that at the PayPal address down going across the bottom of the screen that you've been seeing the whole stream. Make sure you put in a note that it is for my YouTube channel, or a donation or whatever. That way I know that you're with the model railroading community. Now, if it's your choice, if you want to say put this towards your race car or whatever, just leave something in the note to tell me where you think where I should put it. Normally it will probably go in the YouTube channel, in this channel envelope, which is kept right in here in my dad's old desk drawer. So it's marked YouTube channel only, YouTube channel fun only. So it don't get used for anything but contests and different stuff for this channel. It does not go in my pocket. So I'm still looking into a Teespring account store. I got to come up with a design. I'm trying to picture in my head what I actually want because I want to try to do shirts for the model railroading, you model railroader people, and I'm going to try to do racing shirts, and I don't want to have two different stores and all that, and it's just going to be too much. So I'm going to try to put them on both or all on one store. I may even combine the two, maybe a locomotive and a race car, pointing at one another or coming at each other or going away from one another or something. Just to, because I know some of you like seeing my racing videos and everything, and might be a good idea to have a combination shirt. I may do a combination shirt and also singles that way, because a lot of people at the track won't want model railroading, and some model railroaders won't want race car on their shirt. So, but anyway, excuse me. And I didn't bring my drink. Oh, yes, I did. Let me get a little swig from the bottle. And that's not hard stuff, guys. That's iced tea, raspberry tea. So, but anyway, so if anybody's interested, I gotta put my email address. Let me see if I can do that with a banner. That way I don't have to put it in a actually, if you look at my PayPal account, just add Gmail on the end of that, at gmail.com. Matter of fact, it's right here up on my screen, Hot Rod Rodney 25. Just add at the at sign, the little A with the circle, and just add Gmail on the back of it, .com. That way, I won't have to actually put it in here then. So, who else we got in here that I might have missed? It looks like the same. Yeah, you're never late, Randy. If you're still in here, you're never late. I'm normally late for my own live stream. It don't matter how much you try to prepare for something like this. You're never ever totally prepared. That's just the way I look at stuff. But like I said, ruler, it don't matter as long as you have some kind of straight edge, or you can also use a square or scale ruler if you're used to using that only. I just happen to have this laying down here because my scale ruler is actually upstairs where my drawing tablet is. So but anyway, go ahead, guys, and just for Let me go ahead and put this in here. That way, it's in here. Just in case. There is my email address. And I don't have no moderators in here tonight. Wow. Sparky's not here. Well, the cuz ain't here because he's preparing for his own live stream. I don't have Wilmer or anybody in here. So anyway, guys, go ahead and promote your channels. There's my email address I just put up on the screen. So copy that down. If you're interested, email me, put in the subject diorama class or something. I'm not too sure what the class is actually going to be called. I'll probably just go, I'll probably figure something out. But don't forget, everybody head over to Vinny's, hanging out with the cuz at 8 p.m., which is in a couple minutes. And promote your channels real quick, guys. Tell us any contest and stuff like that for a minute, and we will call this good. That way I don't go over and interrupt our cuz, also known as AKA my big brother in the railroad community. Again, I thank everybody for showing up. It's been fun having 15 of you in here. That's my normal count, somewhat. Basically both nights, sometimes 20, sometimes 25, all depending. So let's go over and we will join hanging out with the cuz at BNSF 6951's live stream. Bye for now, guys.